When it comes to hiring defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators, Nick Saban is notorious for hiring coordinators that nobody even thought had a chance for the job. Well, hello there. I don't know why I said that, but we got two very intriguing situations to talk about in today's video. If you like drama and college football combined into one video, this is the video for you. Because not only do we got to talk about what's going on at Alabama, we also got to talk about the news that officially broke at Florida that they have officially released Jaden Rashada. For those of you that have been following that situation closely, you already know what's going on. I don't have time to waste. You don't have time to waste. We're just jumping straight into things. No intro, none of that. If you like the content, consider subscribing. If you don't like it, don't subscribe. All right, Matt, blah, 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 shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Late last night, the breaking news came out, and we already made a video on it, how Deion Sanders landed yet another 5-star cornerback recruit. The recruit goes by the name of Cormani McClain. He's a stud, and we already talked about that in last night's video. Go check it out. To go along with all of that, I got asked a question on Twitter, and I think it's a great one. This person said, now I know it's not likely Colorado will make it to the playoffs this year. I think they'll have a winning record and get a bowl game, but with the 12-team playoff coming in 2024, can Colorado sneak in? I think that's a really interesting question. The reason for that is because by 2024, that will now be Deion Sanders' second year at Colorado if he stays. I assume he will stay. The only reason I say if he stays is because you never know what's going to happen. I know Colorado fans, you're excited. You got all of these new recruits coming in. You got Deion coming in. The program's at an all-time high because it's been terrible the past 8, 10, 15 years. But I think you got to pump the brakes on making the 12-team playoff. First things first, you've got to worry about winning more than 6 games in back-to-back seasons. I have a hard time believing in the first year when the playoff comes around in 2024, Colorado is even going to sneak in. You got to understand, even the greatest coaches of all time, Nick Saban and now Kirby Smart, it took them at bare minimum 2 to 3 years to rebuild Alabama and Georgia, and that wasn't even a rebuild like Colorado is. For example, when Nick Saban came into Alabama, the house, it had structure. When Kirby Smart went into Georgia, the house, it had structure and a roof, but Colorado has nothing whatsoever. There's no structure, no wood, no anything. At Colorado, that football program is just the base level. They've just poured the concrete. And honestly, saying that much might be too much credit. I think at bare minimum, it's going to take 4 years for Colorado to even be in the conversation of sneaking into the playoff. I wouldn't get my hopes up. I would say Colorado, we can start talking about them sneaking into the playoff around the years 2027, 2028. And that's best case scenario. That's if things are going great. You got to look at this from two different perspectives. Deion Sanders, yeah, he could achieve greatness at Colorado, but he could also fall flat on his face. I feel like people don't even consider that, but it is a real option. I would love to talk more about that, but we got to get a move on to our second topic, and that is Florida's star quarterback, or my bad, it was supposed to be their star quarterback, 5-star recruit Jaden Rashada. I'm not really going to talk about this too much because there's nothing more to say about it. The news has officially came out like we thought, and I made a video about this 3, 4, 5 days ago, that Jaden Rashada has officially been released from his NLI. Not NIL, but his NLI, which is National Letter of Intent. For those of you that haven't heard what's going on, go watch some of the previous videos. Long story short, Florida said they was going to give him $13 million, and yeah, when it's about time to sign, or whenever it's time to enroll in classes, Jaden Rashada was like, hey, where's my $13 million? And Florida's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're not giving it to you. Of course, it's way more complicated than that, but that's the best way to dumb this down. Florida promised him $13 million, and they didn't give him the $13 million, so therefore, he left. I can't blame the kid whatsoever. This isn't him bag chasing. This isn't him running after the money. This is him holding Florida to their words. This would be the equivalent to ESPN calling me up right now and saying, hey, Matt, if you quit making YouTube videos and come work for us at ESPN, we'll give you $13 million. I say, hey, that's awesome. I'll come do it. And whenever college football season rolls around next year, I'll come join y'all. I quit making YouTube videos. I go to ESPN headquarters, and right before the season, they're like, oh yeah, Matt, by the way, we're not going to give you $13 million. We lied. That's where we're at with this situation. Of course, like anyone else, I would love to have $13 million, but it's not so much about that. It's more so of, I don't want to work for a company that straight up lied to me. And Jaden Rashada, he doesn't want to go to a school that straight up lied to him as well. It is what it is. Florida's an absolute crap show. What more do I need to say? I'm just going to end it off there. Like I said, nothing more to be said. Oh yeah, might as well bring this up. William White, by the way, shout out to you, sent me this on Twitter, and Alabama has now landed the new transfer linebacker from Georgia that goes by the name of Trezmen Marshall. Gotta be completely 100% honest with all of you. I've never heard of this guy in my life. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you guys and try to act like and hype this up like this is a big get. We stole one of Georgia's players. because it's not that big of a deal. It's just not that big of a deal, and this also goes to show you the downsides and how stupid the transfer portal is. The reason I say that in this situation is because what is the difference from being a linebacker at Georgia or Alabama? If you couldn't play at Georgia, why are you going to assume you're going to play at Alabama? It's the same standard. It's 1A, 1B. It's just stupid. It makes zero sense whatsoever. I'm wishing this young man the best of luck. I hope he goes out there and balls out for my team. I would love for him to turn into a star linebacker, but I'm saying, what's the point? The only argument I could try to come up with this is, okay, hey, he needs a fresh start. But if you need a fresh start, why wouldn't you go to a lesser program? Because if you're transferring away from Georgia, 99% of the people that transfer are transferring because they're not happy with playing time. So with that being said, if you're looking for playing time, why are you going to Alabama? That's my thing. Why wouldn't you go to a Vanderbilt, a South Carolina? You don't got to go to Chattanooga State Water Aquarium Community College, but you can go to a school like South Carolina and Missouri and play. My point in this argument is, it's going to be hard for this kid to see the field at Alabama. Here's where I'm going with this. I don't understand the thought process behind this decision. I'm wishing him the best of luck, just a weird decision to say the least. Let me know your thoughts on that down below. I'm curious. But now finally, moving on to the main topic, the main encore, the main reason you clicked onto this video. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about King Bob, aka Bill O'Brien. Okay, look, everybody knows this. We've talked about it plenty enough. Bill O'Brien, there's a 99.8% chance he will be leaving Alabama any day now. We've already talked about that. It's clear that he wants to go back to the NFL, and the Patriots, they've showed a lot of interest. I know what a lot of you are sitting there saying, yo, Matt, how do you know he's interested in joining the Patriots? And, well, that is because he has interviewed with the Patriots. Bill O'Brien and Bill Belichick, they have a great relationship. Everyone at the Patriots organization, they love him, so if y'all want him, you can have him. I don't care. Y'all know how I feel about Bill O'Brien. I think he's a good offensive coordinator, but Alabama just wasn't the right fit. Anyways, getting back on track here, he has recently interviewed for the job, and apparently, according to all the sources up north around the Patriots area, he's a top candidate. Does that mean anything? I don't really know. I always take that information with a grain of salt. Because we'll see all these rumors of, oh, Bill O'Brien's a top candidate for the job, and next thing we know, they hire some no-name. You just really never know what's going to happen. Here's the thing with Bill O'Brien, and Alabama fans, just calm down for 15 seconds and hear me out. The one thing I hate about casual Alabama fans and casual college football fans, and it's really not even people watching this channel or watching this video, it's that they just want to blame anybody and everybody for a team's loss. Anytime Alabama loses, everybody's like, okay, that's Bill O'Brien's fault. For example, I will never forget this. We lose to Tennessee 52-49, and all the Alabama fans were blaming Bill O'Brien. As to how Bill O'Brien caught the blame for our kicker missing the game-winning field goal and our defense giving up over half 100, I have no idea whatsoever. The person, if you're going to blame anybody in that Alabama-Tennessee game, you got to blame Pete Golden. And it wasn't just that game. It was all throughout the year. The defense, it was embarrassing at times, but yet Alabama fans were like, okay, Bill O'Brien, he's got to be fired, though. My point is, and the reason I'm bringing this up, Alabama fans, is because I want you to understand, I am in the same boat as you. Bill O'Brien in Alabama, it wasn't a good fit. It's time to move on. Whoa, 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 hold on. Although I say that, I want you to be open-minded. I'm mature enough to understand, hey, although Alabama and Bill O'Brien, it wasn't a good fit, that doesn't mean Bill O'Brien is a terrible offensive coordinator. It's the same thing with relationships. Although you and your ex-girlfriend, hey, maybe you fought a little, hey, maybe it didn't work out, that doesn't mean she's a terrible girlfriend. Y'all just wasn't a good match. We see this time after time after time in sports. Just because Tua overtook Jalen Hurts, that didn't mean that Jalen Hurts was a terrible quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Tua was just better. That's what I want my Bama fans to understand. Although he's not a great college football offensive coordinator, the schemes that Bill O'Brien runs, it's great for the NFL. And I would argue and say that Bill O'Brien, if he joins the Patriots, he's going to help out Mac Jones tremendously. Bill O'Brien is quarterback friendly, and Bama fans, we saw this. He's going to throw the ball a lot. He may not run it a lot, but he's definitely going to throw it a lot. At the college level, you can still run the ball 40 times a game and get away with it, but at the NFL level, it's a passing league. That was always a confusion at Bama because we're always used to being bigger and stronger than people and running all over them, but yet we got Bill O'Brien out here with Bryce Young throwing the ball 60 times a game. Yes, Bryce Young's the Heisman winning quarterback, but we got a decent offensive line and a great running back. Run the ball. That's enough about that. Continuing along here, if, and not really an if, when Bill O'Brien leaves, what are we going to do? Who do we replace him with? I've recently spoken with a lot of people around the Tuscaloosa area in the past 2 days, and when I say I have no idea whatsoever who Nick Saban has in mind, I mean that. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I know anything because everybody I talk to doesn't know anything, and honestly, we never know what Saban's going to do. When it comes to hiring defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators, Nick Saban is notorious for hiring coordinators that nobody even thought had a chance for the job. Do y'all not remember all the backlash that Saban got when he hired Lane Kiffin? People thought it was an ignorant move. Same thing with Steve Sarkisian, and I could continue to go on and on and on. But as we've came to know it, Nick Saban in Tuscaloosa, it's the rehab clinic. That's what it is. It's where people that have failed at previous head coaching jobs, they come back, get some mentoring, and next thing you know, they got a great coaching career again. If you do want one name, I'll throw this out there, but I do think it's a stretch, and I don't think it's going to happen. But hey, like I said with Saban, you never know. A lot of people are saying that Jeff Lebby could take over the offensive coordinator spot. Like I said, I don't think that will happen, but hey, I also didn't think Pete Golden was going to leave Alabama for Ole Miss. You never know. And oh yeah, speaking of Pete Golden and Alabama no longer have a defensive coordinator, what's going on there? If you're an Alabama fan, the obvious answer is, okay, let's hire Jeremy Pruitt. He's the best. And I agree 100%. When it comes to the best defensive coordinator we can hire, I would want Jeremy Pruitt as well. I like Jeremy Pruitt. He's got the numbers to back it up, and numbers don't lie. However, for some reason, everybody's saying around Tuscaloosa that Nick Saban will not hire Jeremy Pruitt. I don't know. Well, I do know why, but I don't know. I think I would overlook his prior issues and just give him the job. I'm all for second chances. Nick Saban's for second chances. I don't see why not. But apparently, from everything I've heard, Jeremy Pruitt, he's not as good as a candidate as most people think. I would like him to take the job, but it doesn't matter what Matt thinks. It matters what Saban thinks. When it comes to the defensive coordinator, it is a toss-up. Nobody knows what Saban's going to do. I've heard the name Todd Grantham being thrown around, but I just don't know. You know what? I'm going to leave this up to you guys. In the comment section, please, I mean please, we'll talk about this in probably a video in the next couple of days. Let me know who you think should be the next offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, and obviously why. I want to know because you guys always have a lot of great information that maybe I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. I am very curious. But